Welcome back to the Bluffton News. Well, the Sharks took home the Bluffton Bowl this week, and we're going to take a look at some highlights from that game right now.
Welcome back here to the site of the Bluffton Bowl. Bobcats Stadium, the outdoor den. It was the hometown showdown between Bluffton and May River, and May River came out swinging with the first play of the game, the flea flicker. They end up winning 30-3. It was really a lot closer in the first half. Daniel, what were some keys to that second half?
Well, I believe the keys all night, well, for one, for Bluffton was penalties, and really there were a lot of penalties on both sides of the football. That's unfortunate. Those are things that the coaches are going to have to work to clean up this week as they study film. But I thought, other than Garvin Douglas, who we just issued the MVP, the big key for me was the pressure that May River was able to get on quarterback Matt Von Hohenstraten. We know that he's been hot lately. If he has time to set his feet, plant, and throw, he's extremely accurate. Bluffton has some real weapons on the corners, but May River just never let them get into rhythm. And I think that first play from the outset rattled Bluffton, and they were never really able to recover after that.
May River has a huge game against Beaufort next week. That's going to be a game of two very comparable styles. Bluffton's going to have to get back and, fix some things in practice. John's going to have them ready in practice. Coach Haupt have them working really hard because they've got an opponent in Hilton Head next week that we will see in the Bridge Bowl that is going to be ready for more. That was their first home game, talking about Hilton Head. They're on that new turf. They've got maybe a little bit of swagger going back at home. Should be an interesting game for both teams next week. Your thoughts on our Bridge Bowl game next week?
Well, Hilton Head had a big win tonight at Colleton Prep. 34-6, I believe, was the score. What Bluffton's going to see is something quite similar to what they saw tonight, which is a superior Division I athlete at quarterback.
Yep.
Jalen Sneed, as we know, ran for over 200 yards against Beaufort last week, which is saying a lot given the strength of their defense. So Bluffton's going to have to basically have a similar game plan, but just limit the mistakes. And Hilton Head just needs to come out and, unlike what happened at Beaufort, assert themselves defensively a little bit earlier, and get some pressure on the quarterback, very much like we saw tonight with May River.
It's going to be very interesting. Two great games next week. We've got the Hilton Head Bluffton game at Hilton Head, the Bridge Bowl, next week here on WHHI, but don't forget that Beaufort-May River game is going to be really good too. For Joseph Keith, Daniel Cort, Jeremy Pope, Gustavo Ratia, the rest of our WHHI crew, I'm Marcus Walsh. Let's send it back to the studio with more of the Bluffton News.